Once upon a time, in the lush green village of Umona, nestled deep within the heart of Igbo land, lived a kind and hardworking couple named Nkem and Amora. They were well loved by their neighbors and always ready to lend a helping hand. Yet, despite their happiness, they felt a great void in their hearts because they had no child. Every night, Nkem and Amora would pray to the gods for a child. They visited all the wise elders and the medicine men in the village, hoping for a miracle. One starry night, as they were about to give up hope, an old woman with silver hair and kind eyes appeared at their door. "I am Mama Yulo, the spirit of the forest," she said, her voice soft but powerful. "I have heard your prayers and seen your tears. The gods have decided to bless you with a child. But remember, this child is special and must be cherished above all else." With that, Mama Yulo handed Amora a tiny, glowing seed and instructed her to plant it in their garden. Amora did as she was told, and soon a beautiful plant grew, blossoming with vibrant flowers. One morning, as the first rays of the sun kissed the flowers, a baby girl appeared among them, giggling and reaching out to her new parents. Nkem and Amora named her Kayamika, meaning God is beautiful. They were overjoyed and promised to love and protect her always. Little did they know, their daughter was destined for an extraordinary adventure. Kayamika grew up to be a bright and lively child. Her laughter was like music, and her presence brought joy to everyone in Umona. She had a curious mind and loved exploring the village, especially the mysterious forest that bordered their home. One sunny afternoon, Kayamika wandered into the forest, drawn by the sound of birds singing and the sight of colorful butterflies. She skipped along the path, marveling at the tall trees and the dappled sunlight. Suddenly, she heard a rustling sound behind her. Turning around, she saw a tiny creature with shimmering wings. It was a forest fairy. "Hello, little one," the fairy said with a twinkle in her eye. "I am Nkemderem, the guardian of this forest. You must be Kayamika, the special child." Kayamika nodded, wide-eyed with wonder. "Yes, that's me. But why am I special?" Nkemderem fluttered her wings and smiled. "You have a pure heart and a brave spirit. The forest and its creatures need your help. An evil sorcerer named Odom has cast a spell over our home, turning it into a place of darkness and fear. Only you can break the spell." Kayamika's heart swelled with determination. She couldn't let the forest suffer. "What must I do?" she asked, her voice steady. "You must find the 3 magical stones hidden in the forest, the stone of light, the stone of courage, and the stone of wisdom. Once you have them, you will be able to face Odom and restore peace to the forest." With Nkemderem as her guide, Kayamika set off on her quest. They journeyed deep into the forest, where the trees grew thicker and the air cooler. After hours of walking, they reached a clearing where a tall, glowing tree stood. "The stone of light is hidden in the heart of this tree," Nkemderem explained. "But beware, it is guarded by fierce creatures who thrive in darkness." Kayamika took a deep breath and approached the tree. As she got closer, shadowy figures emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing menacingly. But Kayamika remembered Mama Yulo's words and the love of her parents. She stood tall and faced the creatures with courage. "I am Kayamika, daughter of Nkem and Amora," she declared. "I seek the stone of light to bring peace to this forest." The shadowy figures hissed and lunged at her, but Kayamika remained unafraid. With a burst of light from the tree, the creatures vanished, revealing a sparkling stone at its base. Kayamika picked it up, feeling its warmth and light fill her heart. With the stone of light safely in her pouch, Kayamika and Nkemderem continued their journey. The next part of their quest led them to a dark, murky swamp. The air was thick with fog, and strange noises echoed all around. "The stone of courage lies within this swamp," Nkemderem said. "But it is guarded by a giant serpent who feeds on fear." Kayamika's heart pounded in her chest, but she took a deep breath and waded into the swamp. The water was cold and slimy, and every step felt like a struggle. Suddenly, a massive serpent rose from the water, its eyes gleaming with malice. "You dare enter my domain," it hissed. "You are not brave enough to face me." Kayameka felt a wave of fear wash over her, but she remembered her mission and the creatures she needed to save. She stood her ground and looked the serpent in the eye. "I am Kayameka, and I will not let fear stop me," she said firmly. "I seek the stone of courage to save the forest." The serpent lunged at her, but Kayameka did not flinch. She closed her eyes and thought of all the people who loved her and the promise she made. A warm glow spread from the stone of light in her pouch, enveloping her in a protective shield. The serpent recoiled, hissing in pain, and slithered away, defeated. At the center of the swamp, a brilliant stone emerged from the water. Kayameka picked it up, feeling a surge of courage flow through her veins. With 2 stones in her possession, Kayameka and Kemderim pressed on. Their final destination was the top of the highest mountain in the forest. The climb was steep and treacherous, with loose rocks and narrow paths. "The stone of wisdom is at the peak," Kemderim said. "But it is guarded by a wise old owl who will test your knowledge and judgment." Kayameka climbed steadily, her determination unwavering. When she reached the peak, she found a grand old owl perched on a branch, its eyes wise and piercing. "Greetings, young one," the owl hooted. "I am Ozioma, the guardian of wisdom. To claim the stone of wisdom, you must answer 3 riddles correctly. Are you ready?" Kayameka nodded, her mind sharp and focused. "Very well," Ozioma said. "First riddle, what is always in front of you but can't be seen?" Kayameka thought for a moment and replied, "The future." Ozioma nodded approvingly. "Correct." Second riddle, I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? Kayameka pondered and then answered, an echo. Correct again, Ozioma said, a glint of respect in his eyes. Last riddle, I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? Kayameka smiled, recognizing the answer. A keyboard. Ozioma clapped his wings in delight. Well done, Kayameka. You have proven your wisdom. The stone of wisdom is yours. From a hidden nook, the owl retrieved the gleaming stone and handed it to Kayameka. She felt a rush of clarity and knowledge as she held it. With all 3 stones in her possession, Kayameka descended the mountain and returned to the heart of the forest. Nkemderem guided her to a dark cave, where the evil sorcerer Odom resided. The time has come to face Odom and restore peace, Nkemderem said. Remember, you have the power of light, courage, and wisdom with you. Kayameka nodded, her heart steady. She entered the cave, her steps echoing off the walls. At the end of the tunnel, she saw Odom, a tall figure cloaked in darkness, his eyes glowing red with malice. So, you have come to challenge me, Odom sneered. A mere child thinks she can defeat me. Kayameka stood tall and held up the 3 stones. I am Kayameka, the chosen one. I have the power to break your spell and bring light to this forest. Odom laughed, a cruel and hollow sound. You will regret this, child. He raised his hands, and a wave of dark magic surged towards Kayameka. But she held the stone of light high, and a brilliant beam of light countered the darkness, pushing it back. Odom growled and unleashed a torrent of fearsome illusions, but Kayameka clutched the stone of courage, and her heart remained strong. The illusions faded, unable to break her spirit. Frustrated, Odom conjured complex puzzles and traps, trying to confuse and outsmart her. But Kayameka touched the stone of wisdom, and her mind was clear and sharp. She saw through the tricks and dismantled the traps with ease. Realizing he was losing, Odom gathered all his remaining power for one final attack. Kayameka, with the 3 stones glowing brightly in her hands. If you found value in this story, please like, share, comment below, and follow for more meaningful tales.